Girls Like Girls podcast.
This is the Girls Like Girls podcast. I am Leslie, aka the Leslie Martinez.
And I am JR West.
And this is
Jenny Quesada.
It is episode 26. Jesus class. Something dang. Audience is dry.
What's up? How are you today?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Doing well.
What did your day consist of today?
Most recently, I was getting flax seeds off of my hands. Yeah. And I made some little energy bites at home for the week. And I didn't put enough honey in them. So it was just, you have to make them in little round balls, and it was not happening. So they ended up being little squares that I put in a bin in the fridge. But they're all off now, so we're okay.
Well, they're the Jenny bites. Yeah. They come in squares, not in
circles.
Have you had those flax seeds? They get your stomach going.
That's what she was saying, but I've been fine.
Really? Did you eat a lot of them?
No. I mean, they have... the recipe makes about 9 little squares, I guess, for my recipe. And maybe half a cup of flaxseed, so I don't think it's too many.
Sheesh, I just seen this girl, she put a whole bunch of flax seeds in, a cucumber, drink, and it, flushed her out. So I've been wanting to try those, but if you're telling me they don't do that, maybe.
Everybody's different, though.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just used to, the healthy. Do you typically eat healthy?
I would say I eat a well-balanced diet. I'm not always super intense on the healthy, nor do I eat a bunch of junk. So I'm a nice, healthy, sustainable diet.
Yeah. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no to cookies or cake at a birthday party, and I'm definitely going to choose, chicken over some, fatty red meat, but I like burgers every so often.
Are you a sweets or a salty person?
Oh, sweets. All the time.
Do you like spicy foods?
Mild.
Oh, come on, you're Mexican.
I know.
You gotta be into the chili.
Look, I do tahini on fruit. I can't do hot Cheetos. I can do 2 little hot Cheetos, and that's it. My sisters are pretty embarrassed by that. They take hot Cheetos down bags of hot Cheetos
with extra hot sauce on it.
Yes, and lemon and
not cheese, right?
No,
I don't like
cheese.
that.
No cheese.
Cheese?
No
Hot Cheetos?
Yeah, not doing that.
That's good. It's good every now and then, but I don't know about
some
jalapenos,
fucking corn, and they put. So you like spicy? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm a big person. I like that feeling in my stomach. I like my nose to drip hot.
Nope, not me.
So you wouldn't be down for the 1 chip challenge?
1 chip?
Oh my god.
Yeah. I would do it. I would do it because it's a challenge. We'll have it for you right here. Great. I would do it because it's a challenge. I wouldn't do it because I enjoy the flavor of burning spice in my mouth.
What would be the condition?
Oh, just competition.
Oh, okay.
Any competition I'm in, but only if the likelihood is high that I'll win. Otherwise, I'll be like, oh, watch, I'll cheer you on. It's good.
You're so supportive.
Well, hold on. Now talking about competition, do you do basketball? You play basketball?
Look, I'm an athlete, so can I play anything? Sure.
Okay.
Would I play by the rules? Probably not. So I'd use a little bit of shoving, a couple of elbows, maybe, kick. Yeah.
A kick? Okay. I was considered a kick
master. Well, the ref's not watching,
Oh my god.
No, I enjoy playing. My partner's good at basketball. I am not the best. I've been told I'm a little too aggressive, always fouling.
Yeah. It's usually football players are usually very aggressive when they play basketball. That's what I've noticed. Or people who lift a lot.
Yeah.
So funny story. Jenny was actually on the team our first year.
On the Prowlers?
Yeah, she played for the Prowlers for a bit. And then all of a sudden, we just see her and we're like, where did Jenny go? She was like, you know what? I just figured out football's not for me. Oh, yeah, you did have a minor injury, right? Or no?
Not really.
Was that something we just said?
No, I think I said it was, I don't want to get injured.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
I did. I practiced with the team for, I guess it was a whole season.
Yeah, it was.
And, practice was fun, but then it came down to tackling drills. I can get kicked in the face, no problem.
no problem.
That's fucking crazy.
But you have a whole human running at you, and you're not taught how to take the hit safely. That's where I had an issue. Yeah. And I tried to tell,
So they weren't teaching that. They weren't teaching that?
It was kind of like trial by fire. They put you in the middle of the team, and they literally were like, "You're gonna dodge." And I'm like, "How? Tell me how, and I'll do it." But if I'm not instructed, that's where I draw the line.
Jeez. Yeah, for sure. So it was like,
it was great. It was fun. It was a fun season, but
yeah,
I didn't want to get hit.
It was kind of like caught me by surprise. And I was like, how can someone just get kicked in the face or get kicked in the body all day but can't take a hit? But it's like when she put it that way, I was like, damn. Safety. I'm fucking dumb for taking all these hits. Like,
well, okay, how do you take a hit? Like you personally?
Honestly,
I feel like I would accidentally
really bad, but I
just take it.
Yeah, I feel like usually when we'd play or when we'd practice, I'd think of some shit that pissed me off, and I just kind of have that adrenaline in me in the moment. I feel like football is a different game for sure.
It is. And I respect, again, the team was awesome. I still went to games and cheered on the whole Prowlers team. My business partner was the quarterback.
Yeah.
It was fun. I just realized that it was not my sport. It was also a phase in my life where I was still trying to find, is there another sport for me? Once I had retired from competing, and I quickly learned, I gave it a shot, which is what I told myself I would do. Give it a fair shot, see for yourself how you like it, and it didn't do it.
Just one quick question. Do the pads help? Do the pads really do the job?
They do, yeah, but you still feel it.
It still hurts. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There was one drill, they had me run around and they have some other player chase after you.
Oh my.
And literally that they're coming at you. And what I couldn't do was punch her, right? I wanted to punch, I wanted to kick, and I'm like, wrong sport. Just take the hit. And as soon as that happened, I just, boom, landed on that ground. And I looked up to the moon and I'm like, Lord, I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
I'm not built for this.
Thank you, God. I didn't die today.
Yeah, it's different. For sure. And honestly, you're solid. Yeah. You're solid as fuck. Like, I feel like the times that I did get tackled by you, it was.
Well, I didn't know how to tackle, so I'm glad.
No, but it was good. Still, it all depends on how strong you are. Because they'd be like little short girls like knocking big ones down. So I see you retired. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your Taekwondo and what you do. What
do I do? I like to say I'm an educator. I teach, and both during the day and at night, right? So at night I'm teaching Taekwondo. That's what was the natural progression into once I was done competing. And it took me a while to get to that place of acceptance and choosing to do that. I had to have, some time for grieving and letting go of that version of questioning, am I still an athlete if I'm no longer competing? And come to realize, of course, right? It just depends on how you define it. So it took me some time, and then you have COVID that happened. And so it just made that depression, that grieving even stronger. But I think it allowed for me to truly think about, what do I want to do long term with this, right? Was it just a temporary goal that I was so, driven and passionate about that's just going to go down the drain? And the answer that I always knew was deep down was that I'd always be within Taekwondo. And so just to be able to choose, okay, like I'm ready to teach it with love and not, almost like regret and not, I don't know other word, but I get teary-eyed talking about it. So it chokes me up because it's something that I still really care deeply about, and it's still part of my journey. Right. Now as a teacher, right, to pass along all the lessons that I've learned. So what do I do? At night I teach Taekwondo. During the day I teach at ASU. So I'm teaching students how to be health coaches. Cool. I just want to help, right, other people in whatever I know, and I'm in the position to do that.
Making the days count, not counting the days. That's dope. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you actually taught at ASU. I thought you were actually a student. Was that something you always wanted to be?
No, not at all. It was another blessing in my life that happened at the right time. Started, when I was 8, I wanted to be a Power Ranger. That's why I started. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's why I started Taekwondo. I wanted to be a Power Ranger. And then, which one? Okay, this is a good question for this podcast because I would always say Kimberly because she was the strongest girl. But then depending on who I talked to, I also like Tommy, right? The white Power Ranger because he was the leader.
Yeah.
And so to me, it didn't matter that like, well, Tommy's the guy. I don't care. Like he's the leader. I want to be the white guy, right? I want to be that Power Ranger. So Kimberly, I was for Halloween as a child I think for as long as that outfit fit me. Like my mom was, no, I want to be the pink Power Ranger. But probably just because I didn't make Tommy outfits for girls, So post high school, I knew I wanted to go to college. Didn't know how I was going to do that. In college, I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist, and then I took a couple science classes, and I said, nope, biology's not for me. Mm-hmm. I like people. I like interacting. I like behavior. I like communication. And so it's just natural progression from working within public health to nonprofits to project management within nonprofits to coaching and then teaching.
At what age, I guess this kind of leads into maybe your coming out story. Like, at what age did you? I want to read this.
Realize that why you knew you wanted to
be a Power
Tommy.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
Because I see that you're very family oriented,
yes.
and I see that you're very close to your family, and you respect their values and their morals, and and I feel like coming from a very Mexican family, it's a very traditional family, and they have a very distinctive way of raising you, and you have to be a certain way, and I feel like I see a lot of myself in you as far as very tomboyish, but very still yourself, very feminine, and have these qualities of nurturing and so forth. So at what age did you kind of realize and kind of accept yourself and come out?
Yeah, it took me a lot longer than I like to admit. I was in my early 20s. And to your point, with family values, it took me so long because the hardest part for me to overcome was the possibility of my parents, choosing not to communicate with me.
Rejection.
And the rejection, just the thought of it crushed me. And I had to grow into a place where I was happy with or without their approval. And so for me, it took until my early 20s to really overcome that fear. And my mom was a surprising one, actually. I thought she would be the embracer, and she actually took it the hardest, stopped communicating with me for a couple months.
Oh. And
so about 6 months of I would still be invited, right, to the family gatherings, family celebrations where she would cook and host, it was my sister's birthday, I would go for my sister, not for my mom. Mm-hmm. I'd go for her, and couldn't make eye contact. Mm-hmm. I'd walk in and we've all
just
have our hurts, right? So for me it was extremely difficult, but at first we communicated through writing. She would write, I would write her back, and then I don't know, it took about 6 months, and something within her, I think she realized she's happy, right? Yeah. She's happy, and it was up to her whether she wanted to keep that communication or not. I knew that I was happy being honest and finally letting them into who I am fully, and not guarding, just guarding. I'm this perfect, the perfect, firstborn. No.
I'm still me.
Yeah.
How many siblings?
I have 3 sisters.
3 sisters.
Girls. All girls. They're gorgeous. No brothers.
Okay.
No brothers to beat up on. So that's where the fighting, I just got to let it out on my teammates. Yeah.
So she grew up with sisters too, and I only grew up with a brother.
Yeah.
And he's older than me. And she's always like, you don't want to grow up with sisters. You're lucky you didn't grow up with sisters. Is it really a war in the household?
I think it depends on your house. My sisters and I was never the one that fought with them because I was a protector.
Okay.
I was almost like that second mom, right? I was the oldest, and so I took care of my sisters, and I love them dearly. We didn't fight a whole lot. Now, within the 4 of us, right, there's always the one and the other that do bicker a little bit more than the rest of us. But I think we have a really good balance of we just love each other.
What's one thing that holding on to that taught you about yourself?
I think with everyone's coming out story, it's so dependent upon where that individual is. And I think for me, it really took me to a whole nother level of knowing myself to then be able to just still remain confident regardless of what other people thought. And I never really cared about other people's rejection. It was my parents that really took me so long to kind of face. And I'm glad when I finally did it, I was like, I should have done that forever ago. But again, to my point of my young self, like that's the timing that I needed, and it's transformed into now. Like again, my parents value and respect me and love me so well, and I'm glad that we're able to have a healthy relationship. But it wasn't always the case.
It's good to know that too. I feel like a lot of people, they come out at a very young age, and so it's like you don't realize like the damage that you can possibly do because you're so young, and so you just kind of keep. You're like stubborn, right? You're like, no, I know who I am. I know who I am.
I'm just a tomboy. I'm just like sports. My mom, I just thought you were always a tomboy. And you always were a tomboy. I'm like, Mom, yes, but there's more.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to be the tomboy. Like, I'm still Jenny.
Or a lot of people come out at such a young age, and then as they get older, they realize that's not even what they wanted in the first place. And it's like you came out, and now so many people assume that about you. And then you have to think about it, and then you have to like re-come out, but at straight.
Yeah. So you started Taekwondo at 8?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is it just Taekwondo?
Yeah, you're good. It's Taekwondo. And the difference, right? So you have karate, jiu-jitsu, like all these other martial arts. Taekwondo is from Korea, so it's the origin that makes it a different martial art. Yeah, I was 8, and it wasn't really that I knew Taekwondo or that my parents did. My mom came home with a VHS of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie. And at that time, right, like I only spoke Spanish. And so I'd play that video every day at home. And I'd be like, Ma, quiero estar en karate. Ma. So they'd say, mañana for years. And I think part of it was that they wanted me to make sure I learned English and then potentially enroll me. I don't know. So for my 8th birthday, that was my gift. It was the best birthday gift I could ever get.
Taekwondo still has like the karate look though, right?
It does. It has a karate look in that it's the uniform, right, that you wear goes over your head, and you've got the big thick pants and the belt around your waist.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a similar uniform. Some of them are V-necks, others are pullovers, others are thinner, thicker, depending on what type of competitor you are. If you're forms or sparring or judo, I mean, there's all sorts of uniforms.
Yeah.
When we fight, it's standing up. You have your point designation for striking different parts of your body. So a headshot, is worth 3 points versus 2 when you kick to the body. If you punch to the body, it's worth 1 point. You can't punch to the face. If you spin kick, it's worth more points. If you jump kick, it's worth more. So there's a set of rules with every sport, right? Every martial art is the same thing. With Taekwondo, it's a stand-up game, and so it's a lot of legs. It's mostly kicking. I punched quite a bit when I fought, mostly to set up and then kick, and because I used it as intimidation, right? Like you don't anticipate it because in Taekwondo it doesn't score often, but if you punch to hurt or to shock somebody and then kick to the face, I did my job.
So have you like broken a bone like by a kick?
Oh,
yeah. Like ribs and.
Well, I thought you meant have I broken bones? Have I broken somebody else's?
Someone else's, yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean,
like fractured someone something.
Yeah, and it's a story I'm not proud of the fact that one time I did knock one girl out, and it was pretty early on in my Olympic Taekwondo career. And we were in California at a state tournament, and this poor girl, she just stepped in at the wrong time. And I didn't intend to kick her to knock her out, but in Olympic Taekwondo, you can win by knockout. So if you're a black belt and you hit somebody in the face and they fall over, you win.
Right.
But I didn't want to win that way. So the girl, we're squared off, we're fighting, and she steps into my range, and my back leg, boom, up to her face, and she just falls on the ground.
A reaction like that.
Well, I'm like, why'd you step in, right? I thought she was going to step back there and I'd hit her and get 3 points, but she stepped in, and so my force, I couldn't control my force at that point. I was using momentum.
And no control, I promise you.
And so she fell, and I hated that feeling though, because that I didn't know her, right? I don't know who that is, but that could have been me. And so when that happened, I was in shock. I kneeled and turned away because that's what the referees make you do. And then she was taken in a stretcher out to an ambulance, and I don't know what happened.
How are you that nice and you're scared to beat someone up? Like,
well, I'm not. The thing is, it's controlled. I'm not nice when I fought. Right when I competed, I ambitious. Like I'm competing to win.
Right.
But there's a humanistic side, right, of respect. I mean, and I think with martial arts, you're not just, I mean,
going to kill. It's different.
You're not there to kill and to, you know, to destroy somebody's life. I want to win and still respect the fact that you stood up and fought.
Right.
The fact that you took the hits and we both left. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not MMA, right? I mean, I don't want to be bloody.
I was just about to say that.
Martial arts I think has that like moral, like those morals and like the respect where like
it's a very
UFC
disciplined
like,
sport.
I'm gonna kill you.
It's that mentality of, are you gonna die or am I gonna die?
Right.
And believe me, when I was done competing, I Googled how much do female UFC makers make. I don't like hitting people, but if they're gonna hit me and I'm gonna make money, right? And you know, I did my research and I was like, no, I want to be healthy. I choose health and I'm gonna make money in other ways.
Have you ever been like in a street fight?
I wish.
Oh.
Honestly, like it's so crazy. I feel
you
like
get in trouble.
because people don't gotta know.
It's not like it's something that you get in a street fight like, oh, I got in a street fight and I beat them up.
Right.
No, but honestly, yeah, great question because I'm asked that. Have you had to put it to practice? I wish I could say yes, and I'm also glad that I can say no. I've never had to. I mean, and a lot of it is because when you're a martial artist, you're taught to not be the instigator. You're taught to de-escalate. Right. You're not going to go out and look for a fight. Now, do I want to be in an alley when somebody needs my help? Hell yeah! I want to jump in and fight.
You are a Power Ranger,
but I haven't. I haven't yet. So I mean, if you guys want to set up a street fight, I'm in.
I'm not in it.
I'm gonna dress up in all black and sneak over.
Well, no, you shouldn't sneak it. I'll hurt you. Don't do that.
Don't sneak up on her.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You see me in some football pads and all black, just know it's me.
I'll just look to the moon.
Pressure points?
Yeah. My favorite's probably the jugular notch, right? Just right along your neck. And you just, boom, chop with your hand right there, and you could make somebody pass out.
Let's try it.
Try it? Yep.
She's gonna do it.
I will. I mean, I'm just gonna press in. Like, it's...
No,
it's just... It's just, it's just, I mean, you get hit, right? That's just to feel...
You should have just...
It stunts you for a bit. I mean, imagine then having full force right
That was a trial.
hand.
Do it again.
No,
just kidding. Yeah, that's crazy. I feel... You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I got the weakest neck.
I feel like... How are you supposed to get your neck strong, though? Because I was trying to do it at the gym.
Why are you trying to get a strong neck? How is that helpful to life?
I'm trying to
prepare for you.
Have you ever been to Korea?
Yes, I have. I got to go with the U.S. collegiate team, and we were... So what happens is there's a collegiate championship that happens every year, and there's weight divisions to Taekwondo, just like MMA. So I fought middleweight division, and so you go, when you have the black belt competitors fight, the person that comes out on top in that division then makes the U.S. collegiate team. And so I was able to travel in 4 different years. I made the team and traveled to different countries. One of those years we went to Korea, and it wasn't just Seoul, right? So we flew into Seoul, but then we took this bus to Muju, which is this like mountain town that is pretty remote, and they've built facilities just for Taekwondo athletes. Wow. And so you have basically dorm room type things, a kitchen where they cook for you. I mean, we had so much kimchi and rice, but it was delicious, and you got to interact with people that live there, right? Korean athletes that are living there and training 3 times a day.
Wow.
And then you come back here, right, or we all gather there, and we're all from different states, saying, man, I wish we had this. I wish that we could train in one facility together to really push each other. In 2011, right, I'm in China, World University Games, and we're sitting having lunch with these athletes from other countries, and you've got, a friend that we just met from Iran who's like, if I win, I get to go home and the country gives me a house for my family. Like, you get a house or a car or, just things that really do change somebody's life. And in the U.S., unfortunately, we have to fund our own way. Mm-hmm. Until you're an Olympic athlete, which it's minimal people, right? I had to work 3 part-time jobs while I was in college to be able to compete at nationals and the state qualifiers and just different things to get to be able to represent where I wanted. So, I mean, I think everyone makes it in what way works for them.
Yeah.
But as far as country support, the U.S. is working, towards, I think, improving that.
Do you feel, you being a woman in that sport, is there equality? Or, 'cause I feel like football, right? You saw the struggle. I mean, and even in the WNBA and, like, the women's soccer, like, now I feel like now women's soccer is, like, barely getting a
rep.
They've been around for so long, and it's like we're barely realizing, like, the talent and just the hard work that goes into that. Like,
and there's so much more that women have to overcome, period, just by being women. So for Taekwondo, I think for viewership, right, if you're talking about, like, soccer, basketball, people like flashy, people like intense. And so when you look at males fighting and sparring versus females, of course it's going to be different. But my God, are women fun to watch fight, because there's that same passion and drive that men have. I think women have it more, to be honest.
What's your mental state when you go into it? Like,
It's beautiful.
Can you get mad? Like, do you get mad? And then you're like, I'm ready, or...
I actually had a phase where, and it was a whole process for me as a fighter, right? Because I actually think the more advanced I got within my fighting career, the less angry I was when I fought, because I was calm and focused. And I was ready to dominate and take what was mine. I had a mission, and the mission was to beat, so-and-so, or not even to beat so-and-so, it was to be better than my last fight. Or it was to apply a new skill that I've been working on at training.
I feel like there's so much to you.
We can talk to you for, like,
ever
3 hours.
Yeah,
but the video can't be that long.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to fight a guy?
At training all the time.
Oh, okay.
But no, in competition it's divided, right? So females fight females, and males fight males. Only at training. And I like it. I always like fighting the guys, especially when, they come on with a little ego and attitude, and I'm like, let me humble you for a little bit. Yeah, it's fun. Because it's like an internal, like, sit down a little bit.
Yeah.
Get off your step and fight. And then others that, you have other guys that'll step on, bow to you, and go easy. And then I'm like, fine, that's how we're doing. I'm not going to go either.
Yeah.
Until you go, I'll go. So.
In basketball, we always play against guys too. And I always tell them, like, don't go easy. That's not going to get me better. You going easy. I might block the shot, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, foul a little bit. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But
maybe talk a little bit about the school. What is it, like a club or?
Yeah, it's a studio. So in Korean, right, it's a dojang. So the Taekwondo studio, it's called True Taekwondo, and my business partner and I opened that up in May.
Where's that?
Yeah, it's on Van Buren and 18th Avenue in Phoenix, Arizona. So. Yes. We're not far. It's a really cool location because it's still near downtown, but also near a community. And that's where we want to be. We want to really be changing people's lives for the better. And I think that the fact that we're so close to that community just gives us that potential to really make impact. So we're there as of May, just, again, 4 months in. Definitely still learning how to run the business. That's new to both of us. But Taekwondo is what we know and what we love. And so already we've seen students that walked in a little more shyly just open up, and you see them blossom. We had our first belt testing last month, and there's 7 of our students that tested. Every single student broke their board on their first try.
Wow.
And so that just having those milestones as now our students we're developing and we're teaching, has really been a surreal experience. And there's still so much more left to do. I mean, more students that we want to help, things we want to build within how we're teaching, and again, more empathetic and still rough, right? That rough sports love, but with a little bit of that human touch. And it's going well. Our families are incredible. We have a lot of students that actually, it's siblings, so families that are training together, and I love that because we're all about a welcoming environment. We're all about family, and I think my favorite thing after Peru, I came in the next day, and 2 of the kids, their siblings, just run right up and give me this big hug. And usually in martial arts, you bow, you shake hands, right? But these kids were just happy to see me, and it just warmed my heart. I'm like, yeah, these are my little kids, these are my students.
Who did you do it for?
Yeah.
I would definitely like to give you some flowers today, just because I feel like you're definitely making a difference in not just a younger community, but I mean, I feel there's a lot for me to learn from you, just in, you know, the Taekwondo, or like even in the business, like being a Latina business owner. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of challenges, so it's like, hats off to you on that.
Thank you. I mean, we're both learning together.
Yeah.
Right back to you. Flowers to you too.
Yeah.
If we wanted to get like a week trial into that, can we go to you?
Come over.
Okay.
Come over, train for a week.
I want to feel what that's like. Like, not that I want to get knocked out, but
look, you have to earn that, right? Like, you're not gonna show up and have me or somebody else kick you. You have to train for months.
I'm sure Danny would kick me with great pleasure for like not playing football last year.
Oh, maybe, right? If it's like outside of the studio thing, sure.
Well, that's awesome. I thank you so much for being here. I feel like you say it's cliche, but it's not cliche, because I feel like we need a lot more pay it forward kindness, and just share that, not just knowledge, but just the support, like to let people know like you're there for them, you know.
Thank you for having this platform. Thank you for doing what you do, and you know, just sharing, I think, inspiring and connecting people through something that we all share.
Sure. Thank you for being
keep at it. Yeah, keep at it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. I'm sure they appreciate it. They're
Ranger.
gonna love this. We got a real life freaking Power Ranger. I almost said vampire.
Right here. Real Halloween spirit.
Are you Team Edward or Team what's the other guy's name? Jacob.
I'm Team Jenny.
Yes, good answer.
Damn, I should have thought of that.
Good answer.
Well, that does it for today.
Subscribe, comment, socials.
Yeah, drop your socials. Let them know where they can find you.
Yeah.
Your studio one more time.
Yes.
And
so True Taekwondo on Instagram is true_TKD. Website trueathletics.com. We are on Van Buren and 18th Avenue in Phoenix, Arizona. Personal Instagram, Jenny Quesada. I believe there's an underscore before it. I'm not really sure. Jenny Quesada with a Z.
All right.
And
We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Thanks for watching.